Next topic is OECD Principles. The key elements of good corporate governance principles include honesty, trust and integrity, openness, performance orientation, responsibility and accountability, mutual respect, and commitment to the organization. Commonly accepted principles of corporate governance include rights and equitable treatment of shareholders, interest of other stakeholders, role and responsibility of the board, audit committee, integrity and ethical behavior, disclosure and transparency, provision of information. Let's discuss the principle in detail. The first one is rights and equitable treatment of shareholders. Organizations should respect the rights of shareholders and help shareholders to exercise those rights. They can help shareholders exercise their rights by effectively communicating information that is understandable and accessible and encouraging shareholders to participate in general meetings. Next one is the interest of other stakeholders. Organizations should recognize that they have legal and other obligation to all legitimate stakeholders. The right of stakeholders that are established by law or through mutual agreement, and it includes the right of creditors and the right of employees. Other one is the role and responsibility of the board. The board needs a range of skills and understanding to be able to deal with various business issues and have the ability to review and challenge management performance. It needs to be of sufficient size and have an appropriate level of commitment to fulfill its responsibilities and duties. There are issues about the appropriate mix of executive and non-executive directors. The key role of chairperson and CEO should not be held by the same person. Board members should act on a fully informed basis in a good faith with due diligence and care, and the best interest of the company and shareholders. Where board decision may affect different shareholder groups differently, the board should treat all shareholders fairly. The fiduciary duty of the directors obligates them to treat all shareholders equally and fairly. The board should apply high ethical standards. It should take into account the interest of stakeholders. Next one is the Audit Committee. Clause 49 has made it mandatory for all Indian listed companies to constitute an audit committee consisting of non-executive directors, majority of whom are independent. The chairman of this committee had to be an independent director. The duties of audit committee include oversight of the financial reporting process of the company and the review of related party transactions. An annual audit should be conducted by an independent, competent and qualified auditor in order to provide an external and objective assurance to the board and shareholders that the financial statements fairly represent the financial position and performance of the company in all material respects. Then, the integrity and ethical behavior. Organizations should develop a code of conduct for their directors and executives that promotes ethical and responsible decision making. It is important to understand, though, that systematic reliance on integrity and ethics is bound to eventual failure. Because of this, many organizations establish compliance and ethics program to minimize the risk that the firm steps out ethical and legal boundaries. Next one is a disclosure and transparency. Organizations should clarify and make public known the roles and responsibility of board and management to provide shareholders with a level of accountability. They should also implement procedures to independently verify and safeguard the integrity of the company's financial reporting. Disclosure of material matters concerning the organization should be timely and balanced to ensure that all investors have issued clear factual information. Then, the provision of information. Schedule 1A of Clause 49 of the listing agreement mandates that the board of directors be provided the following information on a quarterly basis: annual operating plans and budgets and any updates, capital budgets and any updates, quarterly result for the company and its operating divisions or business segments, minutes of meetings of audit committee and other committees of the board. The information on recruitment and remuneration of senior officers just below the board level, including appointment or removal of chief financial officer and the company secretary. Show cause demand prosecution notices and penalty notices which are materially important. Fatal or serious accidents, dangerous occurrences, any material effluent or pollution problems, any material default in financial obligation to and by the company or substantial non-payment for goods sold by the company.